Hey, truth seekers, welcome back. Zach here. It's March 23rd, 2017, one day after the London false flag on March 22nd. If you missed the videos I put out yesterday, I'll link the playlist below. Yesterday's March 22nd attack had a lot of parallels to the false flag exactly a year earlier in Belgium, March 22nd, 2016. This playlist has the London videos, the Belgium videos, the Friday the 13th, November 13th, 2015 Paris attack videos. All of these stories are interrelated. They're all part of the ongoing Masonic Zionist agenda, the New World Order agenda, to dupe the people of the world into thinking there's some sort of Islamic boogeyman out there. In truth, there is no Islamic threat anywhere in the world. And almost all of you should know that to be true because almost all of you have never seen any Islamic terrorism in your life outside of the television. The television is the weapon of the New World Order, of the Freemasons, of the Zionists who control international banking, international government. Everything the New World Order does when it comes to false flag propaganda is plotted out long in advance and executed in a ritualistic way. The date, March 22nd, has a lot to do with Freemasonry and Zionism, as we covered in yesterday's video, and as we'll cover again. Today what we're going to do is look at the name of the attacker put out. His name is Khalid Massoud, which looks an awful lot like Mossad, which is Israel's intelligence service, very much like the CIA in the United States or MI5 military intelligence in the UK. Khalid Massoud, and I'm going to show you what's so funny about this name. It's a made-up fictional name for this fictional attack. Remember, nothing happened yesterday. You had Wolf Blitzer on CNN blurting out that many people could be dead while there was absolutely nothing showing on TV besides flashing police sirens. Understand, worldwide Freemasonry runs government, banking, police, media. Police are nothing but henchmen for the New World Order. You know, the masses need to rise up, and we need to take this world back from the tyrants. You shouldn't be intimidated by the police. They're nothing but cowards in uniforms serving the wrong masters. You shouldn't be afraid of your government. They're nothing but puppets selling you out. We need to rise up, people, and we need to take the news away from these tyrants. We need to take the authority away from these tyrants. They only rule because the people are so cowardly against their ongoing tactics. So let's get into this. Khalid Massoud, the made-up name that sounds a lot like Mossad. In Gematria, Khalid Massoud sums to 68. And remember, that's our number connected to the CIA. MI5, CIA, Mossad, they're all one and the same, serving the Zionist agenda. 68, the year, was a big year for this agenda. 1968, in the United States of America, 911 was made the national emergency dialing code. World Trade Center construction began in New York, David Rockefeller's project. And George W. Bush graduated from Yale and Skull and Bones, the Masonic Order. Of course, Skull and Bones identifies by 322. In the U.S., we write March 22nd, 322. A number connected to the military-industrial complex, Masonry, and more. Anyway, 1968 was a major agenda year. A lot of planning went into motion. And, of course, 2001, September 11th, the day where it all came together. And ever since then, we've gotten nothing but bullshit propaganda by the numbers, blaming false flags on Islamic boogeymen that are made up. A few more interesting things in the name Khalid Massoud. Khalid has the gematria of 117, like England, also like the United States of America, just like Central Intelligence Agency. 117, special number. So many overlaps in gematria with England, the United Kingdom, the United States of America. Do you know who's united? the Freemasons, the Zionists, not the people of the world. The people of the world are divided over nonsense put out by the Freemasons and Zionists. There's only one group that's united in this world, and that's just who I said, the people who rule over us. The people who need to be destroyed. You know, in our Constitution that we get in the U.S., it says we have the right to protect ourselves from enemies foreign and domestic. Domestic means here. That means we have the right as people to work together, organize, and to literally, physically kill the people who are running us and doing this to us. We have that right within our Constitution. We have the right to form as a militia and take out this fraudulent Zionist Masonic government. A bunch of terrorists, a bunch of killers, a bunch of thugs, a bunch of thieves. And this is exactly what we need to start doing instead of being a bunch of cowards and worrying the FBI is going to come knock at our door. You know? Too much estrogen in the water. Too many pussies. Not enough men. That's the problem in 2017. That's been the problem since, well, as long as I've been around. You know, the New World Order, feminizing men, making men want to be gay, making it seem like women, you know, are meant to lead. This is all bullshit. This is all how they're pulling us further down, making it harder and harder for the masses to fight back. You got most women leading households in America and elsewhere. It's not supposed to be that way, you know? So let's read about this guy, Khalid Masood, and then I just want to show you, you know, just how big of a joke this is. They even said one of the victims is from Utah, just like the Belgium attack. I'm going to show you why they keep using Utah, the Mormon Masonic state. Remember, Mormonism is just Freemasonry. That's all the Mormon church is. But then again, that's what every church and religion is as well. So here we go. Police investigating the deadliest London terror attack in 12 years named the perpetrator Thursday as a 52-year-old British man, Khalid Masood. Remember, the last London attack was on July 7th, 7/7, 2005. 2005. 2 plus 0 plus 0 plus 5 equals 7, so the attack was on 7/7/7. Remember the Masonic motto, order out of chaos? Order out of chaos in the Jewish gematria format's 777. You know, special number to this gang. So anyway, 52-year-old British man, we're going to talk about why 52, that's the number of the New World Order and authority. Masood was not the subject of any current investigations, and there was no prior intelligence about his intent to mount a terrorist attack, a Metropolitan Police statement said. See, they keep doing this in all the attacks because it's part of the agenda, to make it seem like just anyone could become a terrorist. And also, it gives the excuse, the excuse for the government why they need to spy on everyone. You just never know who might become the next terrorist. The only terrorists in the world are the people who run these governments. The original definition of government, the original definition of terrorism is government by intimidation. The word government in Latin, if you break it down, means mind control. That's what government is. And that's absolutely what government is. I mean, just if you're a U.S. citizen who can think for yourself, look at what your government does to you. Puts poison in your food, says, you know, just tells you to do all the wrong things, believe all the wrong things. It's total mind control. Tells you to not smoke marijuana. Marijuana's evil. You know why the government doesn't want you to smoke weed? Because weed wakes people up. A lot of people smoke weed, and the first time they go, oh my God, what have I been thinking my whole life? Or what haven't I been thinking? There's a reason that they demonize things like weed and then give people sugar and alcohol and poison in the food. They tell you to drink and eat that up. Moving on, Masood, who was born in Kent. Oh, do you remember my video on the 39 Steps? The film that came out 39 years earlier that's all about 39? That story ends in Kent. Remember, it's about the Great War. We'll get to it. But notice, they say that this fictional character is from Kent, which connects to our 39 Steps movie, which was all part of the ritual yesterday. In case you didn't know, yesterday's attack came exactly 39 weeks after the Brexit vote. We'll talk about it. Masood, who was born in Kent and is thought to have been living in the West Midlands, had previous convictions for violence. Police arrested 8 people in raids around Britain as an ISIS-affiliated news agency claimed that the extremist group was behind the outrage. ISIS, remember, Israeli Secret Intelligence Service. The alias for Mossad, this guy's name is Masood. Oh, it's bad, Truth Seeker. It's bad how these Zionists get away with their so obvious mocking. You know, that's just what's so sick. They just so obviously mock the masses in all of these, and the masses don't get it. The masses they just don't get it. Last year, Belgium, March 22nd, they put out the story right away about the Mormon missionary who survived the Belgium attack, the Paris attack, and the Boston Marathon bombing. Just think about how stupid that is. His name was Mason Wells. Mainstream reporting and people just don't get it. They just say, wow, what a coincidence. 3 people died in the Westminster attack. An American citizen from Utah, just like Mason Wells, a woman of Spanish origin, and a police officer stabbed as he defended Parliament. Nobody died yesterday. It's all made up. And another 40, many of them from other countries, were injured. Of those, 29 required hospital treatment and 7 are critical, police said. So realize this reporting's from today. Today they're saying 1 terrorist died, 1 police officer, and 2 people. Yesterday they were saying 1 terrorist, 1 police officer, and 3 people. So somewhere between yesterday and today, 1 less person died. Again, it's because it's all bullshit. It's all fiction. Prime Minister Theresa May earlier revealed that Masood was once linked to violent extremism. Her statement to Parliament came a day after it was locked down as the knife-wielding assailant breached its perimeter. And they keep doing this with the knives. So check this out. Khalid Masood has gematria of 42, like Scottish Rite, like Freemason, like London Has Fallen. This attack yesterday came 1 year and 19 days after the release of that movie. 1 year, 19 days, 119, 11/9, September 11th. Remember, all-seeing eye equals 119, Star of David, the Zionist Mossad symbol, Star of David, 119, Master Plan, 119. Yesterday's date had the 42 numerology. As I explained yesterday, war equals 42, World War 42. Very special number to Freemasonry. Yesterday's date also had the 62 numerology. Notice that London Has Fallen sums to both 42 and 62, matching the date perfectly. Parliament was the big focus. Parliament 62. They said the police officer who died was named Keith Palmer, 62. This was synced up with the Queen's upcoming 91st birthday, Queen 62, Mason 62, Torah 62, what the Jews go by, or the Jewish go by. Apparently in 2003, this man was also given a conviction for possessing a knife, 14 years ago. 14. Remember, the word dead equals 14, so does the word end. They give you a 14-year story for the fictional character. You got 14 phalanges on your hand to count with. So anyway, they give us some more names. They say there was a Kurt Cochran from Utah. Kurt Cochran, KC. K's the 11th letter, C's the 3rd. There was so much 113 in yesterday's news. I just want to remind you of this really stupid story from last year. Third brush with terror, American Mormon 19 left with burns and shrapnel injuries in Brussels attack. Also survived Boston and Paris bombings. They said that this kid was from Sandy, Utah. Sandy, Utah, which has the gematria of 113. The number that they love to code, Sandy, Utah, like mainstream, like dishonest, like perjury, like bullshit. Bullshit, fiction. Your news is straight fiction. Just like how you live in a world full of movies and TV shows, sitcoms that are all written way in advance and planned out as a storyline. The same people who write all those shows, which are Jewish, we all let just Jewish people do everything on the TV and say nothing about it. Those same Jewish people are who write and script your news and have been doing it for longer than the TV's been around. Jewish people have always controlled the media. Newspapers were their invention. The New World Order is a Jewish world order. Zionism, is pretty much what mainstream Judaism is. So anyway, we get a 113 from Utah. By the way, Utah has the Freemasonry connection, 58. Remember, Utah is the land of Mormonism and Freemasonry. Freemasonry, 58. Secret Society, 58. Where were we yesterday? London, England? Guess what? The gematria is there. It's all Freemasonry. For some more 113 in yesterday's event, Big Ben 113, England 113, Teresa 113, Scottish is in Scottish Rite Freemasonry 113. Did I skip over something? I did. Apologies, Truth Seeker. When we came down here and read about this Khalid Massoud and being 52 years old, I meant to bring it back up here. They came out with this motto yesterday. Anytime they do these false flags, they come out with this motto and this emblem, this logo, this symbol. Remember Paris, France, after the Friday the 13th attack, the motto was 113. 113 coded all over that attack. They said the mastermind of it, 113 name gematria. Anyway, after yesterday's, we got the We Are Not Afraid, the red, white, and blue, the colors of Masonry. We Are Not Afraid sums to 68, just like the name of the attacker, Khalid Massoud, just like CIA. We Are Not Afraid also sums to 52, like the attacker's age. They said he was 52. We Are Not Afraid has a double connection to 52 in our gematria formats. With regards to them saying he was 52 years old, think about the Prophet Muhammad. This past year, Muhammad Ali died at age 74, as I predicted he would in 2014. He died on June 3rd, 6/3. The Prophet Muhammad died at age 63 in the Quran. When you sum to 1 through 63, it totals 2016, like the year Muhammad Ali passed. Muhammad Ali was Muhammad Ali for 52 years. Prophecy 52, the Prophet Muhammad. This man, 52 years, blaming it on Islam. Muhammad equals 74, like killing, like stabbing, like London, like Masonic, like Jewish. Remember, Masonic 223, the Synagogue of Satan 223, like yesterday's date as well, March 22nd. So anyway, CNN's reporting, our values will prevail. And maybe pretty soon they'll be an England strong. Notice the our values will prevail equals 93. They keep putting the word strong after cities, after these false flag attacks. Strong has the gematria of 93. Interesting, it's also 33 in reverse. Catching that for the first time. Again, false flags 33, and after all these false flags, they keep saying Boston strong or this city strong. False flag 33, like masonry, like secrecy. Learn more each day. Our values will prevail, 93, and this is Theresa May saying this, who's part of this Masonic Zionist empire, and everything they do is based around the numbers that sync with time. 93 is the number for Saturn, the keeper of time. They tell us the sun's 93 million miles away. God's son equals 93, crucifix 93, propaganda 93. The Freemasons have the compass and square, which is set at 47 degrees apart. The word time equals 47. The tropics that measure the solstices are 47 degrees apart. 23.5 degrees north, the Tropic of Cancer. 23.5 degrees south, the Tropic of Capricorn. It's all masonry. It's all numbers. In the Kabbalah cipher, the word for time also sums to 93. Using the alphabetic order. Time is 47. 47. That 144 you see on the screen is a special one too. But anyway, you just read the reporting. It's just, everything about it is bullshit. Since 2013, police, security, and intelligence agencies have successfully disrupted 13 separate terrorist plots in Britain. Yeah, I bet. Since 2013, remember, Freemasonry, 13, number of rebellion, all over their symbolism. On September 11th, it was a date with 41 numerology. 41's the 13th prime number. They blamed it on Al-Qaeda, which equals 41. Alphabetic order. So they said that the man was driving across the Westminster Bridge, created something here, crashed down here, ran in here with a knife. Not at all. It was just your police, your government, maybe your MI5, maybe you had some Mossad and CIA there. That's all it is. That's all it ever is. These are the real terrorists in the world. And this stuff's been known for over a half a century. I mean, the President of the United States wrote an op-ed on December 22nd, 1963, about how the CIA needed to be gotten rid of. Why do you think the former President of the United States, Truman, the 33rd President who created the CIA, wrote that on December 22nd, 1963? He said the CIA needed to be done away with 1 month after the assassination of JFK. So anyway, here's the police officer who supposedly died. If he's really dead, and he's not, but if he is really dead, who cares? You know what? That's the same fate every single police officer deserves across the world. Every police is a scumbag. There's no such thing as a good police. All police are mercenaries for the New World Order, holding up unjust laws, picking on, minorities. These are the scumbags of the earth across the world. The people need to rise up, and all the scumbags need to be 6 feet under by tomorrow, That's what needs to happen. Because as long as it doesn't happen, this bullshit's going to keep happening. This guy probably gets a nice big pay cut, retirement, gets to be a hero in the news until everybody forgets about him, which will be in about 3 days. I call this country the United States of amnesia, but I'm pretty sure the whole world has the same problem. Nobody can remember anything past Monday. It's also how the powers that be get away with all this bullshit. CNN gives this 48-second story. Remember, 223 is the 48th prime number. The 223 attack. The big tribute to Theresa May. Donald Trump tweets at 6:33. Not a coincidence. Donald Trump, Freemason, Jesuit. So just for real quick review, this film came out in Britain, The 39 Steps, in 1978, 39 years ago. It's about the Great War, based on a film that came out 74 years ago, London Killing, Stabbing, Masonic. 39 was the number yesterday. This film, set just before the Great War, The 39 Steps, which ends in Kent, where Mr. Massoud's from. Great War 39, World War II began in 39. Yesterday's attack came exactly 39 weeks after the June 23rd, 2016 Brexit vote. Remember, Donald Trump was in Scotland the day of that vote. It was exactly 138 days before the election day in the United States. Just to show you just how all this crap is by the numbers. Donald Trump 138, in the UK for Brexit 138 days before the US vote. It's all a joke. We're letting puppets run us. So anyway, 39 was the number. 39 weeks later, May equals 39, Brexit 39, Big Ben 39, 1039. The prime ministers reside at 10 Downing Street. As I pointed out, the mayor of London, his name equals 39. He's born in the 10th month, like Theresa May. That means they're Libras, and for just another 39, check out the gematria of Libra, 39. David Cameron was born in October. David Cameron is born October 9th, right? The Brexit vote was a span of 109 days before his birthday, October 9th, 10/9. Parliament also has gematria of 109. Just show this to you real quick. David Cameron exits because of Brexit 109 days from his 10/9 birthday. And they're all born in October, the 10th month, residing at 10 Downing Street. Cameron is also 39. See, check out Brexit. Brexit 33 and 39. See how they did this? It's all code, truth seeker. These are all agents. None of these world leaders are truly elected. They're all selected. It's a Masonic Zionist dictatorship across the world. Again, England has the gematria of 33. Think about the 2 female prime ministers of the UK now, Margaret Thatcher, MT. M's the 13th, T's the 20th, 33, and now TM, like trademark, 33. TM out of Brexit. It's a joke. Also, just in case you didn't see yesterday's work, from Theresa May's birthday upcoming, her 61st, to the date of the incident, yesterday was 193 days, which is the 44th prime number. The word clock has gematria 44. Again, Big Ben, the clock, equals 39. When you write out 44, it sums to 144. Just like when you write out time, it sums to 144. Just like when you write out May. They said the attack happened at 1440 military time yesterday, 2:40 p.m. Again, this is all part of a military agenda. Military 44, April 4th, the day NATO was established, 4-4. 4-4, a number connected to killing in a big way. Trooper officer kills, shooting, execution, genocide. One dead police officer yesterday. 322, as we write it in the U.S., was yesterday. Military industrial complex 322. When you write out skull and bones, it sums to 149. Parliament also has the 149 connections. Skull and bones identifies by 322. Go back and watch Tim Russert in 2004 ask John Kerry and George W. Bush about Skull and Bones 322. Those were the two men running for president in 2004. They said Tim Russert died at age 58 at 2:23 in the afternoon in a perfect span of days from his birthday. I got a video on it. Very symbolic number. Tim Russert asked about it on NBC, died not long after, reportedly at 2:23 in the afternoon while on vacation with his son. It syncs up with war and World War, 42 numbers. The U.S. got involved in World War II on April 2nd, the date FDR started making the plans to go to war, way before Pearl Harbor. The Freemason compass and square set at 47 degrees with the big G representing 42. So a couple more points. Keith Palmer, again, the officer who died. We talked about how his name connected to Parliament. You know, they're saying 4 dead, 40 more injured, 4 plus 40, 44. Again, our kill number, military number. With regards to it being a stabbing, this came 7 days after the Ides of March, which is on the 74th day of the year, March 15th. Caesar equals 47, like president. Like the initials PM break down to 7 and 4. P's the 16th letter, 1 plus 6 is 7. M's the 13th, 1 plus 3 is 4. PM 7-4. Caesar dead on the 74th day of the year. Caesar 47 from a stabbing. 7 days after the Ides of March, which was yesterday, we get this story. Stabbing equals 74. 7 is also the 4th prime number. 7 and 4. 7. G, the 7th letter for the Freemasons. Before I forget, I also want to point out this thing about the Westminster Bridge where it began. It has gematria of 84, like Brexit, like United States of America. Remember Donald Trump over there for the Brexit vote, UK, United States, all related. Notice United States of America is 132, England's 132, Catholic Church is 132, 132 rooms at the White House, not by coincidence. As for the 84s we were just on, Masonry's 84, just like Zionism. Of course, the Zionist Jews go by the 39 books in the Old Testament. Definitely the master planners of yesterday's incident. All of this is for the Zionist agenda. They are the ones who hate the Middle East and the Muslims that are there. You know, they want to grow Israel. They want to keep growing its boundaries. If the manpower of the world never rises up, you know, hundreds of years will go by, and I bet you someday the whole Middle East is nothing but Zionist Jews. Genocide of everybody else, like they've genocided the natives and others. The manpower of the world lets these shriveled Zionists just rule over them for centuries. How pathetic are people? This is why the Zionist Jews call the masses goy and say that they are pathetic. They're meant to be ruled over. They're worthless. They're stupid. They'll accept the worst of conditions. Read the Talmud. People need to know. Why do you think the Jews went over to the U.S. and set up their own nation with freedom of religion? You know, where you can believe that you're superior and everybody else is meant to be your slave? You think it's a coincidence the birthday is July 4th? Jewish 74, Masonic 74, Gematria 74, English 74, holiday 74, Independence Day 74. It's so funny I've been showing these things for 3 years and people think it's a coincidence. That's why they call the masses goy, because they're fucking retarded. And this is why they can rule over them with this bullshit propaganda and say a guy named Mossad, took down the city of London. Oh, God. Truth seeker. The only thing worse than the New World Order are the stupid motherfuckers we have to live around who can't see through their very obvious contempt for the masses. And, while we're on the subject, let's flip the 74 around for a little 47 goy action. In this ALW cipher, goy is 33. Remember, goyim in reduction is 33. It's nice how it's 77 like Judaism. But remember, Gematria, Jewish practice, they came up with this. Judaism, 89 like religion. Just see how it all comes together. This ALW cipher is so legit. But anyway, the Zionist nation of Israel, established in the year 47, to the detriment of the goy. Here's the other piece about Keith Palmer, the fallen police officer. Keith Palmer, 118 like death. Also 62 like Parliament. Let's not forget the gematria of police. 33 like false flag like England. BBC reporting. What is B? B's the second letter and C's the third. The BBC, the 223 on March 22nd. Look at their headline. A policeman was on the floor. What just a stupid contrived sentence. 118, just like the name of the officer. Just like death. The number I used to predict Prince's death months before it happened, and then Prince died on an elevator, just further proving my point. Look at that. Elevator's 106 in ALW, and Prince said all we could go by is prophecy, something I was educating about all year. And then they opened up his house as a museum on October 6th, 10/6. Sorry, you guys, we're freestyling a little bit, but I told you got to start looking at these other ciphers. They're relevant. It's amazing all that's coded. I also noticed that policeman has the gematria of 47 like authority. Doesn't that make too much sense? 47 degrees on the Freemason compass and square. Can the attack at 1440? From London Has Fallen, which came out March 4th. To yesterday, 1 month, 19 days, And here's the mayor. They got the Islamic mayor there, all part of their symbolism. Remember, the Zionists, they control all religions. They got people under their sleeve of all faiths. They got Christians. They got Muslims. Because money controls all people. You can get anybody to sell out for some money. Well, I shouldn't say anybody. I won't sell out. But I'm not anybody. You can get the majority of people in this world to sell out for money. That's a fact. Most people are sellouts. Most people are cowards. Most people aren't that bright. Again, the Zionist Jews have told you, most people are goy, which means what? A loser, stupid, foolish, easily ruled over, manipulated? I mean, that is the word. These are the people we live around. You had to be retarded to not see through September 11th. You should have never been fooled by September 11th for a single second. You had to be fucking retarded to fall for September 11th. And there's no other explanation. Just simply fucking retarded, or what the Zionist Jews call a goy. The only way to fall for this bullshit, fall for con men like Wolf Blitzer, the Zionist Jew cocksucker who says he doesn't know his parents because they died in the Holocaust, even though he was born 3 years after the war was over. Wolf Blitzer does a full hour-long interview about growing up, having his parents lost in the Holocaust. The guy was born 3 years after the war was over. CNN airs this like it's real information. You know why they do it? Because they present bullshit with no basis in reality every day and convince the very dumb people who watch the TV to think it's real. It's all part of the conditioning, though. They send you to school. They teach you to respect your teacher who's a fucking retard. How many of you had teachers that were bright? Most of us spent our whole life in school and We might not even be able to count a single teacher that we had that was worth a shit. You know, most of us, maybe 2 or 3 teachers we can name that had a clue about anything. Our whole time we had to learn from these morons, you know, obey their foolish commands, get our heads filled with bullshit like they teach the kids now in the classroom in the textbook about 9/11 and the Islamic terrorists and Osama bin Laden. Osama bin Laden, that was a name for the goy. Osama bin Laden, 47 and 110. The World Trade Centers were 110 stories tall. Building 7 was 47 floors tall, each floor 47,000 square feet. The buildings were proposed by the Rockefeller family. 110 stories tall. No coincidence. So anyway, Truth Seeker, we covered more than enough. There's even more here, but I'm sure you're as bored as I am at this point. I mean, we got to do something. We got to find the people who aren't cowards, who aren't pussies, who have brains, who are willing to stand up and fight for themselves. We're ruled over by a bunch of losers, shriveled men, old pathetic men, hiding behind police, hiding behind their television screens and their TV studios and their newspapers. We just got to burn it all down to the ground. You know? We need to wake up and all of a sudden these news studios don't exist. These paper publishing places, they don't exist. They've all been burned up overnight. You know, now they can't put out their propaganda tomorrow. Wolf Blitzer can't talk anymore because his head's chopped off. There's no more Orange Oompa Loompa in the White House because he doesn't exist anymore. There's no more Theresa May. There's no more Francis, whatever that fucker's name is in France. All over the world, people need to rise up and put these piece of shit stains to bed. And everybody should be able to say that because it's the truth. These tyrants are blaming Islamic people who are some of the most peaceful people in the world. Meanwhile, the Zionist Jews are murdering people, and we have to read headlines about how there's all this anti-Semitism on the rise. These people aren't even Semitic. There's a war that needs to happen. Anybody who says peace is the answer is someone who's been conditioned by the Zionist Jews. Peace isn't doing shit. These people are murderers, killers, liars, warmongers, and they need some of their own medicine. It's not an eye for an eye. It's just getting rid of the virus. It's getting rid of the plague, the disease, taking the world back, putting an end to the madness. I mean, this shit's been going on for longer than probably any of us have been alive that are watching this video. It's been going on way longer than my life. I was 18 when 9/11 happened. My whole adult life, this bullshit. And people around me too fucking stupid to see the very obvious. So it is time for heads to roll, you know? The book's coming out. I'm going to DC to film the documentary once the book's out. We're going to try to get some foot soldiers and put an end to this. Like I said last night on the radio show, let's make the goal 2020. By 2020, this is all over. No more tyrants, no more queens and kings, no more bullshit media. We got to be seeing clearly by 2020. It's a 4-year mission. Or maybe a 3-year mission, you know. Until next time, Truth Seeker.